Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to review Module 2, Week 2, what to expect and some of your responsibilities. First, let me mention that it was fun reading about your autobiographical profiles, your various interests which you've expressed, and other background that you have, your educational background and work. What I want to do next is to go into what I would typically do every week when I review a video. Use the Syllabus and Schedule tab. This is where you find the syllabus and the course calendar. I encourage you, if you haven't, to print a copy of the course calendar. If I would make changes, they will be reflected here. The last time I made a change was on the 7th. So you should have access to this. It should be by your side, in a folder, or have it saved electronically somewhere on your laptop. Now you're looking at the course calendar for week 2. So in week 2 I have an assignment which I'll release. It's called Literary Analysis Assignment. This assignment is related to a movie, and the movie is called To Serve with Love. So you are to find the movie. I believe it's online. You can rent it, or you can borrow it from the library, but check, do your own search. There used to be a time when I would recommend the movie and I'll find it on YouTube, but I realized that that's not always the best strategy, because one time I recommended a YouTube link which was free, and then by the time students checked on it, it was no longer there. So because of copyright issues, I think. I believe you guys can find the movie online, or rent it, or borrow it. It doesn't cost much if you are going to rent it, but I think this is something doable. Many of you know what to do. So let's go into our course shell, and you'll find the materials that I prepared for week 2. So in week 2 you have readings. Okay, so you want to go into, just make sure you're following what I have on the course calendar. Let this be your guide to know what to find to read. I will tell you that you don't have to look at every single thing I post under week 2, because some of these materials are supplementary materials. But I would expect you at minimum to check every single thing that relates to something you have to turn in. For instance, critical thinking versus creative thinking. So you need to do the reading by Andrew Baker. The other activity you need to complete is the one on chatbots. There are videos you're going to watch. Okay? And I think one of the last activities you probably want to complete is to watch the movie To Serve with Love 2. Again, I repeat, it's To Serve with Love 2. Not the part 1, but the part 2. So you have to watch it. The next thing I want you all to pay attention to is the assignment instructions. So whenever you see something like Overview Literary Analysis, because I have other assignments in which I will just introduce it that way, that means it's something that I will review, even if there's a video component to this, but there's an assignment component to this. So to review the assignments, you would go into the Assignments and Projects tab, the Literary Analysis Essay Assignment folder, and this is my review of it. Let me say that this is an old review video, but the information is still current. So if I review this, it's an old video that I've reviewed the assignment. But the information that I have on the assignment is the same. So I have made some recommendations about how you can find the movie. I have already mentioned that, but more importantly, there's a script in which you can check, a movie script, so To Serve with Love 2, if for some reason you cannot follow the movie. Maybe perhaps you, after watching it and taking notes, you forgot something. You can always go back to this script link and we can trace certain dialogue or certain scenes and capture certain quotes from the movie. So in the assignment itself, it should be straightforward what I'm expecting. Feel free to take a look at some sample papers of my previous students, but you don't want to get carried away because every context in which I give an assignment is different. So this is the assignment instruction. I am not going to review it here because I've already reviewed it in the video, but one thing I would mention is the deadline. You need to pay careful attention to when things are due. For instance, your first draft and outline is due on the 2nd of November. The final draft is due on the 10th. And also my expectations are plainly stated. So if you review the video, that should be clear what I'm asking you to do. I'm not saying you should just do some drawings. I'm asking you to write a literary analysis assignment, which is in response to the movie. So you must see the movie. You must have watched the movie before you attempt this assignment. You can't do the assignment without watching the movie. Okay? Looking at the course calendar, you have the theme, literary analysis, and other topics. So make sure you go through the videos. I have hyperlinks here. I believe they are still current the last time I checked. So all of these contents should be found in the course materials under week 2. Now, I've said it and I'll say it again, that the multiple ways you can access week 2. The first way is to go into course materials tab. The second way is to go into the learning modules tab. And right now, I have not released this, but I'm going to open it up so it's accessible to you all to navigate. So once I have this released, as I do now, you should be able to access the content in under week 2 and navigate week 2. So discussion board prompts. So these are the prompts you would respond to. There are 1, 2, 3. Okay. To respond, you will go click on discussion board and create your own thread. Now I will say this. This is a late start class, and a late start class means that things move pretty fast. I understand there's a lot of pressure you all are facing to turn in work as you manage your other responsibilities. At the same time, I also have responsibilities. So that's a lot of pressure on me to get your work back as soon as I can. So I expect at minimum for you all to be engaged in what you're supposed to be doing, and that is your work as an active student in this class. I also expect you to be posting, responding to discussion board posts, okay? Which is a sense to me, tells me that you've done the assigned reading, you prepared in this class, and that you're taking your responsibilities as a student seriously. Looking at the course calendar again, I would always advise you that as you select what you're going to do, you want to look ahead as well. What is coming up? One thing I would say is that at the end of week 2, I noticed there are a couple of you who are yet to be active in this class. I will likely report this to the registrar's office, and they will make a decision on your behalf. So there is no absolute reason why you should not be aware of what is coming. The deadlines are clearly stated in the course calendar. Other times they are also on Blackboard, and I believe they are, unless I have something wrong about them. So make sure you know how to make sure you find a balance between what you do in your personal time and the time you reserve for schoolwork, because you're supposed to be engaged in classwork on a Blackboard shell. That concludes for my review for Module 1, Week 1. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.